You ever notice how you can get a raise and somehow still feel broke? Like, you're making more money than you were 3 years ago. Maybe even double, but your bank account still hovering around the same number. Your stress about the same. Your lifestyle a little nicer. Your freedom, not really. You tell yourself, I just need to make more. But what if the problem isn't your income? What if the real issue is your financial identity? If you're someone who works hard, earns decent money, but still feels financially stuck, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because today, we're not talking about budgeting hacks. We're not talking about some new side hustle. We're talking about the thing underneath all of it, the financial identity problem. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Here's the thing. Most people think money problems are math problems. I don't earn enough. I need a better job. If I just hit 6 figures, I'll finally be okay. But the data tells a different story. According to the Federal Reserve, nearly 40% of Americans would struggle to cover a $400 emergency expense without borrowing or selling something. Now here's where it gets uncomfortable. That includes people making $75,000, $100,000, even $150,000 a year. According to a survey by Lending Club, around 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, including a surprising percentage of high-income earners. So what's going on? Let me give you a simple example. Imagine Sarah makes $50,000 a year. After taxes, she brings home roughly $3,300 per month. She spends $1,200 on rent, $600 on food, $400 on car plus gas, $300 on subscriptions and entertainment, $300 on random stuff, $500 on lifestyle upgrades. She saves maybe $200 a month. Now Sarah gets a raise to $80,000. Her take-home jumps to about $5,000 per month. Amazing, right? But 6 months later, her expenses look like this. $2,000 apartment upgrade, $900 nicer car, $800 eating out plus experiences, $600 shopping, $400 subscriptions plus lifestyle, $200 savings. She's making 60% more. But she's saving the same $200. That's not a math problem. That's an identity problem. Part 2. The identity ceiling. Here's what most people don't realize. Your financial life expands or contracts to match how you see yourself. If you see yourself as someone who enjoys nice things, someone who deserves to reward myself, someone who's bad with money, someone who always struggles financially, your behavior will subconsciously prove that identity true. Psychologists call this identity-based behavior. According to research published by the American Psychological Association, people are far more likely to act consistently with their self-image than with logical incentives. Translation: you don't spend because you can. You spend because it matches who you think you are. Let me explain. If you believe deep down, I'm not the investing type, you won't invest, even if you know you should. If you believe rich people are lucky or greedy, you'll subconsciously sabotage your own wealth growth. If you believe, I grew up poor, money always disappears, you will recreate financial instability, even at higher incomes. This is where it gets really interesting. Your income might change overnight, but your financial identity, that changes slowly, unless you deliberately rebuild it. Now you might be thinking, okay Nick, but isn't lifestyle inflation normal? Yes, it's normal. But normal doesn't build wealth. Let's do some math. 2 people earn $100,000 per year. Person A saves 10%. Person B saves 30%. That's a $20,000 difference annually. If both invest in a simple S&P 500 index fund averaging 8% annually, historically consistent according to long-term data from S&P Dow Jones indices, here's what happens over 30 years. Person A investing $10,000 per year equals about $1.13 million. Person B investing $30,000 per year equals about $3.4 million. Same salary, $2.3 million difference. The gap isn't intelligence, it's identity. Person A identifies as, I earn good money. Person B identifies as, I build assets, massive difference. Look, I'm slightly frustrated when I talk about this, not at you, but at how common this mistake is. Because people genuinely think they have a money problem. But what they actually have is a story problem. You don't buy the $1,200 phone because you need it. You buy it because, I'm successful now, I deserve premium, I don't want to feel behind. According to consumer research from McKinsey & Company, emotional triggers influence the majority of high-ticket discretionary purchases. Translation: you're not making financial decisions, you're making emotional identity confirmations. Here's an analogy. Imagine your financial identity as a thermostat. If your identity is set to middle-class spender, every time your income rises above that level, your spending increases to bring you back to that familiar zone. Thermostat reset. But if your identity is set to wealth builder, extra income automatically flows toward assets. Same money, different default. This is where it gets really interesting. There are two types of people who look wealthy: the loud rich, luxury cars, designer brands, high-end apartments, social media flexing, and the quiet rich, paid-off house, index funds, boring investments, 15 to 20 years of consistent compounding. Research from the Millionaire Next Door showed that most millionaires don't live flashy lifestyles. They drive practical cars. They live below their means. They prioritize investing over image. Here's what most people don't realize. Wealth is invisible, spending is visible. So people build visible success instead of invisible security. That's an identity issue. Part 6. Rewriting your financial identity. So how do you fix this? You don't start with spreadsheets. You start with identity shifts. Shift number 1. From consumer to owner. Instead of asking, can I afford this? Ask, will this help me own more assets? Example, instead of upgrading from a $25,000 car to a $50,000 car, invest the $25,000 difference at 8% over 25 years. That's roughly $170,000. That one car decision costs you 6 figures. Shift number 2, from income-focused to net worth-focused. Most people track salary. Wealth builders track net worth. Salary is ego. Net worth is freedom. Shift number 3, from short-term comfort to long-term power. Spending gives comfort. Investing gives leverage. One feels good today. The other feels powerful in 15 years. You have to consciously choose which identity you want. Here's the biggest mindset change. Stop asking, how much can I spend? Start asking, how much can I keep? There's a massive difference. Let's say you earn $120,000. After taxes, $90,000. If you save 40%, that's $36,000 per year. At 8% over 20 years, that's about $1.6 million. Not because you're a genius. Because you aligned your identity with building. This is where most people resist. They say, but Hailey, I don't want to sacrifice my life. You don't have to, but you do have to decide what version of you you're building. The version that signals wealth, or the version that compounds it. I once knew two coworkers. Both started at $60,000. One upgraded apartments every promotion, leased luxury cars, took expensive trips to celebrate success. The other stayed in the same apartment for 5 years, drove a reliable used car, automated 25% of income into index funds. 10 years later, first guy still talking about his next promotion. Second guy hit $700,000 invested before 35. The difference wasn't intelligence. It wasn't opportunity. It was identity. One saw himself as rising lifestyle. The other saw himself as future financially free. Alright. Practical steps. Write your current financial identity. Be honest. I'm bad with money. I'm a spender. I'm always catching up. Replace it with a deliberate one. I am an investor. I am someone who buys assets. I keep a high percentage of what I earn. Automate behavior to reinforce identity. 20 to 40% automatic investing. Automatic transfers to brokerage. 20 to 40% automatic investing. Automatic transfers to brokerage. Lifestyle capped below income growth. Increase income, but don't inflate lifestyle at the same rate. Lock in your savings rate before upgrading anything. Measure net worth quarterly. Watch assets grow. Let that become your new dopamine. Look, most people think wealth is about intelligence, or luck, or timing the market. It's not. It's about identity alignment. Here's what most people don't realize. You don't rise to the level of your income. You fall to the level of your financial identity. If you identify as a spender, you'll spend. If you identify as a builder, you'll build. And once you internalize that, every raise becomes fuel. Every bonus becomes leverage. Every dollar becomes a soldier working for you instead of a trophy you display. So ask yourself, who are you financially? Because that answer determines your future more than your salary ever will. If this helped you rethink money in a deeper way, hit subscribe, give it a thumbs up, and start acting like the person you want your bank account to reflect. I'll see you in the next one.